Well, everybody, here we are. The Mustang Owners Podcast is here at Foxtoberfest in Concord, North Carolina, at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Mike Ray, did we have some fun today or what?
Yeah, this is crazy. Just a packed house full of Foxbodies. It's Foxbody heaven right now for us today. And we got a really, really special guest today with a very, very, very special car.
Rich Easterwood. I have Steeda 1990 004. It is the only convertible that Steeda has produced. And it's an actual serialized car, fully optioned, 275 horsepower package, full aero kit, wheels, suspension. It's got electronic motorsport shocks and struts on it. Yeah, it's just a all original car.
John, these electronic struts are incredible. Seeing that wire go down.
Rich failed to mention, it's also beautiful.
Yeah.
And, everybody, even on my 06, I went with Steeda suspension for a reason. People that know suspension work know that that's the car.
Yeah,
to have.
that's
and the fact that he has this convertible, I mean, you can go a million places and look at a Steeda, but you're not going to find this. And coming to Foxtoberfest, Rich coming here, and Mike, the weird thing is, you set up right next to us as we were slinging posters all day.
Yeah, and it's one of one, right? Steeda convertible Foxbody, right?
One of one is what the people at Steeda have told me.
And it's not just that, it's that this is the kind of thing where you do a national show and you can expect to see people come for a long way to try to be part of this because it's a happening. It's like you were either at Foxtoberfest or you weren't.
It's a destination for sure.
Right. And that's why cars like this exist. Rich, we really want to thank you for bringing it out, taking the time, set it up, and for being next door because it gave us extra traffic. Right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Let's go check out what other cars might be here at Foxtoberfest 2024. Well, Mike, you come down to Foxtoberfest, you expect to see some cool Foxes. And for me, just personally, when I see any of the special summertime edition cars, I get a little weird because back when I was at Auto Week, before I came to SVT, one of the first things we wanted to do when this car came out, Ford PR called us and say, hey, we're doing the summer edition. We'll lend you one. Do you want to do a story? So I went to the conference room and I said, well, let's go cruising. And one of the kids in the magazine said, we don't cruise anymore. I go, what? He goes, no, we go to the mall. Okay, I go, okay, well, listen, I'll tell you what. So I called the Mall of America in Minneapolis. I said, can I get a Mustang convertible into the Mall of America? He said, at night you can. So the cover story with a yellow Mustang springtime edition cover story from Auto Week was cruising the mall.
Right.
And there was a blonde on the cover. And we just had her pull in the mall looking at the directory in this car just like this. And they said, well, who's the blonde? It turned out to be my wife, who almost killed the photographer because the photographer kneeled on the back of the car and he said, go a little faster. And she hit it and he flipped over. So I wanted to, when I saw your car, I know you have a unique story about meeting your wife. Yeah. First of all, tell us your name, your hometown, and how did you get this great car?
My name is Chris Carroll, and I'm from Sanford, North Carolina. And I bought the car a couple years ago. A guy had it for 20 years, and and I told him if he ever wanted to sell it, I wanted to buy the thing. So it came available, so I bought it.
No, I understand this isn't your only special. Yes. You also have that red one behind us with the chrome ponies on it.
Yes.
Mike, you know how I feel about chrome ponies. You're lucky I didn't put them up on jack stands and try to put them in my van.
Exactly. I just remember going to the dealerships. Anytime I seen one of these at the dealerships and cruising in to see it, and this was definitely on the want list for sure.
So how did you come to own two of these?
Well, the 91, I've had that one 25 years probably.
Wow.
I bought that one from a preacher out of Cary, North Carolina. And and then
the preacher sold it because he got in a lot of trouble with the chicks chasing after him.
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, but I've enjoyed both of them. I really have.
Absolutely cool. Yes. Now, does your wife condone you driving around, and how do you get the second one to the show?
No, she was the one that wanted it. My brother drove the red one, and I drove the yellow one up here. Yeah.
Well, this is why when you come to Foxtoberfest, you see all the great classic Foxes. Some of them are the originals, some highly modded. But this one, from the Mustang Owners Podcast, is going to get Mike 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great job. And we really appreciate you bringing it here. Thanks for sharing it with us.
Yeah,
and let's keep on rolling through
Foxtoberfest.
Foxtoberfest 2024. Well, everybody, Mike and I have been roaming the grounds here at Foxtoberfest 2024 at Charlotte Motor Speedway in you see so many Fox bodies of every stripe, the paints, the wild, the colors, and then you see a brand new buy, someone who found a Fox, and it's absolutely the way he found it probably. He's ready to get it rocking and rolling. If you just tell us your name, what your hometown is, and how did you find it, and what are your plans for it?
My name is Brian Black. I'm out of Iron Station, North Carolina.
Okay.
I put out a feeler post on one of the Foxbody Facebook pages, and a gentleman out of Texas hit me up, said he had this project sitting in his garage that he wasn't going to do anything with, and he had already went through it mechanically. We talked for a couple weeks over the car, and I decided to buy it because I wanted to make a road race car out of it.
Mike, road racing out of Fox bodies, but this is, I mean, it's a perfect canvas when you get a car that somebody had mechanically ready to rock. You can drive it,
yes,
right? So now you can drive it home and say, what do I want to do? It's a wide open idea.
And it caught our eye.
Oh yeah. So now you're thinking maybe going out with professional road racing, going autocrossing. What you want to do? They want to do a livery on it?
I do a lot of a lot of autocrossing.
Okay.
I race with the NCCC, and there's a Porsche group up in the mountains I go race with. Just fun hobby racing, and then maybe some HPD days here and there. So something to have a good time with, enjoy it.
So check this baby out. You may see it like this now, but God only knows. And how long do you think? A couple years you're going to have it ready to go out on the track?
Who knows? Who knows?
And the great thing
That's
is,
the best part about it.
The best thing, Mike, you can still have fun with it right now.
Yep.
Here at what a great day to be out here with your Fox, and congratulations on bringing it.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
This is what makes this hobby so great to me. Great owners, great cars, and dreams that are going to come true sooner or later. That's why you come to Foxtoberfest 2024. Mike, let's keep on hunting.
Absolutely. We're here at Foxtoberfest, witnessing the record-breaking event of the most Saleens Fox bodies ever at one event. The former record was 39. We don't have a final total count yet, but I can tell you right now there is way more than 39 here. So we are breaking this world record
there's
here
rumors,
today.
Mike, it could be close to what, 70 or 80?
They're shooting for 100, and I don't know what it is, but it's
still-
got to be up there. It's got to be 70 plus for sure.
It's got to be at least maybe double the old record.
Yeah.
And part of it is it's Foxtoberfest. The
That's
other
right.
part of it is it's Charlotte and the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And it's beautiful today.
It's a beautiful day, and we got some owners with beautiful cars, beautiful people that come out with their Saleens Mustangs, and you seem like you're having a great time.
I am. I'm having a blast. The day has gone by so fast. I can't believe it. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of like Christmas in October. And so we had 80 some registered, Saleens registered. We were trying to get to 100. So I'm guessing we have actually 70 something that showed up like you were.
Well, Amy, wait, first, let's talk about, did you come because of that, or would you have, I mean, are you just a Fox
Is this the
person?
main reason you were here?
Is that why you came?
Oh no, I was coming regardless. Actually, I had planned to bring another car, and then when I heard it was going to be Saleens, I was like, oh, well, then I got to bring my Saleens, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I was super excited about it. And actually, this is the longest I've ever driven this car, and it got me here, and I had a great ride down. So
Well, that's what a coincidence.
That's what it's all about.
On the way
Yeah.
down from Detroit, Mike told me that was the longest ride he's ever made in his life.
Yeah, never flying
He
next time.
flies everywhere. Of course, Ford Performance on our Transvan drives everywhere. We'll drive to Bakersfield, California from Detroit.
But this special guest is an owner of 14 Mustangs, is that correct?
that's correct.
No, wait
So-
a minute.
We're going to go deeper on an episode,
Amy.
a future episode.
You have to be now on the Mustang Owners podcast to be part of that, because once you get above 3, you're certified crazy.
I know, I have a problem.
She's Mustang crazy, but Mustang smart to bring her Saleens on a record-breaking day. It may never be surpassed. You may be part of history today just by being here.
Yep.
Yes, and I want to thank the Saleens Club of America. They gave us each challenge coins for bringing our cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Very
and they're
cool.
numbered. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Really
they're
cool.
amazing. So
Awesome.
it's an amazing souvenir of the event. So
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Well, we'll arrange to have Steve come to your hotel and sign autograph. No, we won't.
it's like, actually, sign like it. I got him to put my name on it too.
That's
Can
awesome.
you imagine that?
We got to track that guy down next.
That's right. So this is why Foxtoberfest is a special time, and when records like what Amy's going to go through, and just to be here, driving her car all the way here to be part of this, maybe a piece of history that may never be broken. Kind of like, Wayne Gretzky's record. Who knows? Ovechkin might do it. You never know when you come to any of the Mustang shows, but we definitely going to have you on. Your Mustang stories are fantastic. And,
Thank you.
And until you hear it, Mike and I have long said this, the best thing about being in a hobby is
Everyone has a Mustang story.
And yours is cool.
Thank you.
Mike, let's go keep finding super people like
Yeah,
this.
let's go track down Mr. Steve Saleen.
Yeah, tell him we know Amy. You're setting a Saleens record, Mike. You know, it'd be a good idea if you had Steve Saleen come here, signing autographs for the group.
Steve
And
is
as you
here in
can-
attendance.
As you can see, the line goes down the row here, and people who have a Saleens Mustang, or maybe someday just want a Saleens Mustang, they want to get an autograph from the man.
Yeah, and this is an all-time world record right here for the most Saleens Fox bodies ever gathered, and it wouldn't be appropriate if Steve wasn't here. Steve's signing autographs currently as we're here, but he's going to be featured on an upcoming episode.
Yeah, so what we'll do, Mike, when his wrists settle down from being so swollen, we'll have him on the Mustang Owners Podcast. You can send us your questions you want us to ask Steve at clubhub@ford.com, and we'll put him on our Mustang Owners Podcast and get him to answer some of your favorite questions of being here at the Foxtoberfest and being part of this record-breaking Saleens weekend.
Yes.
You know what? The other thing is, if you had the Mike Ray edition Foxbody and you wanted to set the world record, sitting over there signing autographs would be Mike Ray. But that's why the Mustang Owners Podcast is here, and that's why we're going to keep walking the field here and come up with some other cool things that are going on. So don't miss it. Let's keep going, Mike.
Let's go.
Mike, everybody's got their favorite
Look,
Foxbody.
look.
What? Wait a
this
minute.
one?
First of all, Florida plates. One of my very first cars at Auto Week magazine when SVT was founded, before I got to the team in 1995, the first press unit that came to Auto Week was a teal Cobra. But Mike, I think you know somebody else that liked teal Cobra.
Yeah, this is Tracy Ray's favorite Mustang ever, 93 teal Cobra SVT. This is it.
With
It's
the classic
gorgeous.
gray interior,
Yeah,
the lockout button
leather
on these. Look
interior.
at- this thing is in fantastic condition. The gray leather just makes it pop. Look at this baby.
That 93 Cobra radio.
But the problem is, I know for a fact that when the factory was putting out our SVT Cobras, we didn't have Vortex supercharged.
Yeah, they didn't come with that.
No, and the fact that you might roll up to a 93 Cobra and say, oh yeah, I'll run this guy. But when you're running a Vortex, you might be cheating, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the beauty of this car, the other thing I like about these, when there's real tasteful mods, like the Vortex that's under the hood, plus the fact I love those A-pillar gauges.
Yep.
One of the coolest things that Foxbody's seen, the setup of A-pillar gauge, and what a clean example.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so you can't have every one, but you sure want them.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. We'll check out some of these
That's
up
one of
here.
the pace cars we were talking about.
Let's grab a pace car. Let's go take a look at it.
The 79 pace car
With a Coyote.
with a Coyote in it. There you go. Wow.
When we just can't look anymore, we think there can't be anything cooler out there, but there is something cool from a guy named Jeffrey McCool, who happens to have, Mike, probably the most significant Fox body in at least the first couple of years, and what really raised expectations about this brand new chassis in 1979 was everybody fell in love with the pace car.
It was classic, and this is the one that kicked off the Fox body, if you will. And we caught our eye from across the way here. We walk over here, and then we see the big 5.0 in it. The Coyote's in it.
So that's not the way they came, in case you're not paying attention to Mustang history. But when you're on the Mustang Owners Podcast and you want to say a car, and we see a Coyote in Jeffrey McCool's car, we're saying, what the heck happened, Jeffrey?
Well, originally I bought the car. I bought it 8 years ago out of South Carolina, and I bought it. It was on Craigslist, and I bought it specifically. I was looking for a pace car, and I was looking for a car to do a Coyote swap, because
Really?
at the time it was a popular thing to do. It wasn't quite as commonplace then as it is now. But I found this car on Craigslist. I live in Columbus, Ohio, so 2 days later I drove down all the way there, got it all the way back. We did it in about 26 hours.
Wow.
So, it's just straight through.
See,
And
Mike, people drive a long time.
and it was really nice when I got it. It was a 27,000 mile car. It was a 4-cylinder, 4-speed car. It was super anemic, not fun at all to drive, but,
No, but
really
it's-
fun to look at.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, really fun. to
So
look
that's what really kind of inspired you. And what gen Coyote did you find? Was
So
it
this engine's out of a 2012 F-150.
Oh, wow.
It was a complete pull-out.
Yep.
So I got the complete engine. It's got a 3550 Tremec 5-speed
Wow.
in it.
Nice.
It still has a stock 7.5, which is fine for just driving around. It's
Yes.
a street car.
So you're just out having some fun. You're not trying to
Yeah.
win any.
No, it's not a race car.
But I got to tell you, here when you see what 900,000 Foxes, pop in your hood with a pace car with that engine in it, Jeffrey, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, we had to stop and bother you. I know, but this
pleasure seeing you.
Yeah.
Two super cool things with Jeffrey McCool. One, the 79 pace car was iconic when it comes to the Fox world, but two, he took a four-banger and decided, to take the latest Ford engine technology, Coyote power, and put it in there, and he's driving super McCool with super great Fox lines and a super great powertrain from Ford. This is what Foxtoberfest is all about. And that's why, Mike, when you're on the Mustang Owners podcast, there's something about people. And what do you always say?
Everyone has a Mustang story.
And yours is really cool. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Mike, that's going to be hard to top.
Yeah. Thank you. Pleasure meeting you guys.
Look how big the area is here. You can fill this place with cars and people. And I mean, you'd spend all day walking one end to the next.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. And everybody with their own customization, so Mustang being the most modified car in the world, you can sure tell that here.
Just lightly modified with the hood, you got the chrome ponies on it. I mean, just the little tasteful things that people do.
There's a teal notch.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen so many notchback Fox bodies in my entire life.
This is just nirvana for Foxbody people. Well, Mike, when we walk the crowd here and you see someone with a Ford Motorsport shirt on, you say, well, that guy's pretty cool because he obviously knows what that's all about. But then you see the car he brings to the show, and this looks like an authentic racer. It may have seen some track time once or twice. So we got Kevin Lloyd here, and Kevin's brought his Ford Motorsport. I don't know the story, Mike, but what do you always say?
Everyone has a Mustang story, and we want to hear yours.
Everyone does. I started out, my first Mustang was in 1982, so I've had that ever since. But when the SVO came out, I wasn't in a position to get one then.
Yeah.
But as I got older and my kids got older, I was able to get this one back in 2011. Did some mods to it, put in a 4-point roll bar, took out the seats, lowered it, improved the suspension, even though the suspension on SVO is great anyway.
That car handles.
But build the engine up a little bit, take it up to VIR now and again, absolutely love it. As you can see, it's a driver. It's meant to be enjoyed. It gets scratches and dents and whatnot, but when I get in it, it takes me back to 1985. And so I couldn't ask for anything more.
Mike, you absolutely know the lure of an SVO and how that gets you just your heart pumping, because what brought you into the hobby was
I had an 86 SVO, jalapeno red, and that's what it was. And I had it for 13 years, and I sold it to get my 05 Mustang, and then that's when I got into the real hobby, and just now it's 20 years later already.
Now for
once it gets in you, it's in you.
Yeah, and for everybody at Foxtoberfest, I mean, if there's elite cars from every generation, but when it comes to the third generation, the SVO is like the King Cobras of Mustang 2s, like the Boss 9s. I mean, those are the factory race cars that were for the street, built by engineers. The cool thing about you, Kevin, is the fact that taking it to VIR, I mean, going up over the top there, the elevation changes there, driving a car that's, I noticed, a little bit lower.
It is.
And be able to go out, and he's not here because it's got candy apple paint. He's here because this car is enjoyed and driven. And Kevin, that is what we believe, at least what Ford believes, should be the reason why you buy a Mustang.
Absolutely. It's what led me to get a 2020 EcoBoost, because I loved having this turbo so much. But yeah, the first time you take a 40-year-old car and you go down the back stretch at VR over that hill, still flat out, is the best feeling in the world, because you've conquered whatever fear you
Those
had.
butterflies, because you go up and then you go back up.
Yeah.
Love that track. Love your car. Love your story. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you so much.
This is a wonderful example of why when we're on the Mustang Owners podcast, we meet great owners that know how to enjoy a Mustang. And not just any Mustang, not just any Foxbody, but a Mustang SVO. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the show.
You too. Pleasure meeting you.
Fantastic.
Let's keep checking out all these great Foxbodies here at Foxtoberfest 2024. Come on, Mikey. Thanks.
Pleasure meeting you guys.
Thanks for holding up, yeah.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too.
He wants us to. Mike, you know, you walk along, see all these great Foxbodies at Foxtoberfest. Then we come along and we see this black Stealth SSP. And we said, look at this. And it's got the flashers in the windows, because most of you people don't know that these special service units of Foxbodies were all, oh, it's the Georgia State Police, and they're all got the big badges on the side.
Hugely branded, yeah.
But when Brad's car came here, we said, this is the car that pulls us over.
That's right.
Because it looks like a regular
It
Mustang.
looks like a regular Mustang. So, yeah, a lot of cars were marked cars. This was in North Carolina, was an unmarked car. So, North Carolina and other states too can have unmarked cars. Sometimes they have other rules and regulations that they don't have as many unmarked units, obviously. But this one acts just as a regular patrol car. It can give you the same tickets, could give you the same, could get you the same day in court as a marked unit. It just it would surprise you at the end of the day.
Don't you wonder why, I mean, of all the cars in the world you can own, Brad picks an SSP Black Mustang. How in the heck did you want this and why?
So, a quick story with me, and my friends can tell you the story easier than I can. I'm in the police car upfitting business.
Okay.
So I build police cars on a daily basis, and which is an odd job to start with. I've been doing it for 20 plus years. Everybody else has cool cars, but they did not fit me.
Right.
So when we started doing the car, I wanted to do something different, and I just gravitated to this, and I didn't want to go marked because I had some friends with marked cars with the decals on it, which look great.
They're fine.
Yeah.
But I wanted something that would be different.
Yep.
So I went unmarked with mine with no decals on it, and that's where we're at.
I've seen a ton of SSVs. I've never seen one unmarked.
You've
No,
never seen-
and
Yep.
to being in the upfitting business for police cars, this is the perfect billboard
yeah,
for what you
exactly.
do is for a living.
It is. I've enjoyed it. I love to talk about it. I love to see them. You know, it's just what I do. I live and breathe it.
And I'm sure this car gave out more tickets than the marked cars.
Most of the time. And North Carolina was a little odd, so you were not issued a unmarked car. You would request to use an unmarked car, but you were issued a marked car. So the unmarked cars were not normally issued to anyone on regular patrol. Yeah.
You know, and it just takes two crazy guys from Detroit doing the Mustang Owners podcast, spotting Brad's car and saying, we just have to hear what happened, Mike, because as we always say,
Everyone has a Mustang story.
and yours is awesome.
Well, thank you, Jay.
Thanks for bringing your car up,
Yeah,
Brad.
pleasure meeting you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank y'all.
yes,
That's
yes.
Brad White and his cool SSP Mustang, and we'll find some more great Mustang stories here at Foxtoberfest 2024. Mike, let's roll. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you so much,
Look
Brad.
for us on the
Pleasure.
podcast.
We'll check you out.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sir, thank you.
All right, everybody, I know what you're thinking. The Mustang Owners Podcast is at Foxtoberfest. And they're going to go around, they're going to find all the shiniest little chrome blazing beautiful cars out there. But Mike, because everyone has a Mustang story, everyone also has a Mustang dream. And what makes Foxtoberfest different is that you can bring your Fox no matter what stage, and there are vendors out here who will look for cars that are just ready to start their dream, and they'll say, needs an interior, needs what, and they'll donate parts for people that bring their Fox out and show them, because a lot of you out there in Mustang Owners Podcast land think you got to have a shiny, perfect car to come to a car show. That's not true.
No, why do I feel these kind of cars like this have the much better Mustang story, a much deeper Mustang story, and a much longer Mustang story? Because it seems like it's been well traveled, and I'd like to hear that story behind it before it gets all pretty and shiny.
Yeah, and so for those of you out there that, well, I take my car to the car show, but it's not up to par with everything.
Right.
And Mike, you don't, even at Mustang Owners, you don't want to take somebody say, well, you can't come because it's got multicolors on it and it's just started life. Maybe you just want to drive a car like this.
Yep.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. And we had a gentleman earlier that brought a model car that he did for the model car contest, and it looked almost similar like this. A little few different colors on it, and that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
People are finding them that way, and that's how they make them their own, and that creates the Mustang story.
Yeah, so whether you're a millionaire and you write a big check and make your Foxbody something that appears on the magazine, but for the Mustang Owners Podcast, Mike and I believe that the hobby starts here. The
Yep.
hobby starts when you get your first car. Maybe it's not your first car. You just get something you want to drive. Do you have to fix it up, Mike?
Nope.
I say not really.
Nope.
You could drive it like this forever.
Yep.
But air conditioning, it's got a V8, it's a Fox.
Yeah.
How can you beat it, right?
And like I said, it's just creating another story, and people are walking by and they want to hear that story.
Yeah, and this is what makes the hobby so great, because it doesn't have to be what you think you have to be to come to a show like this. Mike, I just love to see grassroots Mustang love like this car shows us right now.
Absolutely. Let's go find some more.
Yeah, there's got to be some, but let's keep going. I just had to stop.
Yes.
I hope he makes it home okay. Well, Mike, I know that it's coming up to awards time here at Foxtoberfest 2024. There's just something about the thumpity that makes you love it. But what makes you love Fox is back in the day when the Fox with the boss is back, and with this is Kathy Cardwell out of Harrisburg, North Carolina. She got her GT, and this is all the iconic stuff. It's got the dual snorkel 5-liter in it. It says it's equipped from the factory with the backlight. And this is the way she got this car. Just see this thing out here today. It takes us back to the era when they said the boss is back, and when they were talking the boss, Mike, they were just talking 157 horsepower.
Right, and you don't see these often at all. And I can only count on one hand how many we've seen today. And yeah, 1982, that's 42 years ago, this car, and it's still iconic every time you see one.
Well, and the reason it is, in case you guys don't really follow the Fox history, I mean, the Foxbody was known to be getting the horsepower back into it, but it wasn't until this car. I mean, think about this. In 1978, the Mustang II King Cobra had 139 horsepower, and it was laughed at. This car is 157 horsepower, so it's 18 more horsepower, but it's not laughed at anymore. And they roughly had the same amount of torque, but when it came to the horsepower, we got above 150 in this little chassis, and people started, Ford was interested in bringing power back into Mustang, and this is when we kind of turned the page, and then Mustang became that eventually rolling in my 5.0.
Yeah.
And this is what made it all happen. Dual snorkel, 4-eyed car, a GT, doesn't get any better
And
than that.
everyone knows it as the boss is back.
That's true. And that's why we're here at the Foxtoberfest 2024 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, Mike, Foxtoberfest 2024, it's come and gone, but what do you think?
What a great event. Our first time being here in person, and just an amazing event. I can't wait to come back again. Tons and tons of Foxes. I can't wait to hear the final number. And we met tons of amazing people and seen tons of amazing cars and witnessed this Saleens record-breaking event for Foxbodies.
And I think even better for all of you on the Mustang Owners Podcast that follow us either on Apple, Spotify, or now on YouTube. The Mustang stories that we came across today. Yeah, we found some great cars, but with every one of those great cars, Mike, there was a great story.
Yeah, the stories are what made it all, and like I said, the cars bring us together, but it's the people that give us the stories.
Well, every once in a while, you know, you go to a show, and we're going to be bringing you a lot of shows, whether we're there in person or you're going to submit a video or some pictures. We want to be everywhere with the Mustang Owners Podcast, but there's always a different vibe, and that's what happens when we get Foxbody, because Foxbodies is the fastest growing collector segment right now. The prices are going sky high, the interest is sky high, and I think, Mike, it's gotten to the point now where those collectors, they got to that age now where maybe they wanted one in high school, couldn't afford it. They were growing up and wanted this car, but guess what? Now they can afford it and get into the hobby. This is what makes Mustang hobby so great, no matter what generation you are.
That's right, and they got a whole row of cars for sale here, and this is the place to be. If you wanted to get into the Foxbody world, this is the actual event to do so.
So I hope you enjoyed our coverage here of Foxtoberfest 2024 from the Charlotte Motor Speedway here in Concord, North Carolina, and keep joining us on the Mustang Owners Podcast so we keep bringing you the wonderful world of the hobby. And why do we do that, Mike? Because
everyone has a Mustang story,
and we're going to get yours.